All right, I think we are live. Everyone, welcome back to another podcast episode. And I'm super excited for you all to meet and hear from a woman who has been one of my coaches and mentors for at least a couple years now, if not longer than that. And I am really thrilled for you guys to meet her and see what she's up to now. So, Tash, welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to be here with
Yay.
you, especially because I'm just so proud of everything that you've done. So this is really exciting for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sweet. Thank you so much. So, Tosh, tell us who you are, what you do, how you got to doing it, because I know it's been kind of an evolution, and we love talking about the evolution on this show because that's part of life, right? That journey is part of everyone's business. So, who are you, and what do you do?
Well, I'm Tash Blum, and I'm a board certified NLP practitioner and manifesting mentor. And actually, I'm a practitioner in many modalities. But what I do is I work with heart-centered women who are destined to be change makers and light workers of our time, helping them to harness the power of their hearts and their mind so they can manifest anything and everything they want. And basically, I change lives by working with the divine. And manifesting is, one of is the main thing that I work on with women. But there's so many things that come that prior to being able to, we manifest all day long, every day. I mean, all of us are always, we're manifesting all the time. What I do is teach women to become intentional with it so that they can create the life that they desire.
Ooh, so much to unpack there. I love how you said to be intentional about it, because you hear so many people. I feel like manifesting has become kind of like the popular thing to do, but people aren't being intentional about it. So then they're not necessarily seeing results. And then it becomes one of those, woo-woo things that I tried one time and it didn't work. And now I'm not going to give it a go again. So tell us, in case someone does not know, what is manifesting? Like, what would you say manifesting actually is?
Well, manifesting is basically creating your reality. It's it's everything. If you look around right now in your world, if you take a look right now at everything that's in your existence, everything. I got a credit card here. I've got a brand new cards. I've got a phone here. I've got, all these things, my lip gloss, right? Always got to have a lip gloss by my screen. All of these things you have manifested into your life. You have brought into your life by by the process of your thoughts and your intention and your focus, backed up with, of course, there's a lot involved here, and backed up with your emotions, the things that you desire, and you actually attract these things into your life. Okay, so you're manifesting these things into your life. Everything in your life you've manifested. You're a powerful human. Every one of us are. And manifesting is something that is basically a gift from our creator, from the divine. It's how the divine created the world that we live in, and we were given that same manifesting power to create. And there's the universe that is also a creation of the divine, was given an orderly union of laws. Okay, so there's a lot of spiritual and universal laws that work together in perfectly. And with those, we are able to live and function on this planet without, burning up and floating up into the air and being, nothing. So manifesting is really basically just bringing something into your reality that you have been focusing on, whether you're doing it intentionally or not, whether it's something that you want or not. And it's happened ever since you came into the womb and beyond. So
Okay, so I don't even know why. I think I was watching one of your trainings, not this rounds, but earlier, and you said something, and I don't even know why I never thought of this, but you were mentioning manifesting things that maybe you don't even want. as well. Can you talk? So I think when we think manifesting, or at least when I had thought of manifesting before, it was like all the things that I want.
Right.
But what does that mean when you're manifesting, or when you're attracting things you don't want?
Right. Well, basically, what that means is that you are bringing into your life things that you are not. Think about this. Think about this. You manifest. Okay, let me give you an example. I manifested breast cancer into my life, right? I manifested breast cancer into my life. And I wasn't looking for breast cancer. I wasn't saying, I want breast cancer to show up. But what I was looking for was I really wanted to have, the best health that I would ever be in. I really wanted to have a change in my relationship. I really wanted to become more in my life. There was a lot of things in my life that I wanted to be different, and I wasn't focusing on breast cancer, but it came into my life. I manifested it. But the thing is, and this is what I do. This is what I do with women is I help women to understand things that come into your life are meant for you and are meant for you to learn from and grow from. And when you can take the things that you don't want to manifest into your life and learn from them and grow from them, you can actually shift them into something really beautiful. So a lot of times we're manifesting a lot of things in our life that we don't want, but in reality, those things are really meant for us and really meant for us to learn. And that's why we continue to manifest things we don't want until we can really learn what we really want in life. First of all, that's a big part of it. You got to know what you really, really want to be able to manifest what you want. It's a huge part of manifesting what you don't want. And this is another big part of it, Lindsay. I know you've heard me talk about this. We have so many stories that have been programmed into us as we were children. So we come into this world, we come into this world as little sponges. Okay. We are all in theta state. So we're basically functioning at the level of brainwave state where we're all subconscious, and everything that is coming at us, we believe and we process it as real. And so we create all of these programs that are there to help us to navigate through life. And a lot of those programs are, disempowering. We make decisions at a young age that of a disempowering belief or a disempowering emotion, something that happens to us and we don't know how to process it right. And we end up programming ourselves with these disempowering stories. And so we go through life, and we keep manifesting all these things that we don't want because we've got these programs playing over and over and over again that causes us to focus on things that we don't want, right? Oh man, why is my bank account always so empty? I can't attract money. Money's hard to come by. I can't hold on to it long enough. All these stories that you tell yourself, and you continue to manifest more and more and more and more of that, right? That's manifesting what you don't want. Until you can get to a point where you can look at that and say, oh, wait a minute. What is my real belief here? Why did I manifest this? What am I supposed to learn from this? And make the changes needed to create the type of stories and programming that you do want. Until you can do that, you're going to continue to manifest haphazardly and things that you don't want because you're still playing those old stories. So it's not as easy as they say.
I'm gonna say it's a lot of reprogramming. I feel like is like the theme of that is, but I know at least for me personally, when I was doing some of that work with you, a lot of the need to reprogram was because I wasn't even really sure what I wanted, which was one of the things that you mentioned was not being really clear on that. So if someone's listening, they're like, I think I know what I want, but I'm not really sure what I want. What can you kind of walk them through to figure that out? Or what are some basic steps anyway?
Well, first, identifying what you don't want is really important. So looking at the things that you have manifested and saying, okay, I really don't want that empty bank account anymore. Right? I want my bank account to be full. So for why though? What do you want to be full? Why do you want that bank account to be full of money? And this is the key here. This is the key. How do you want to feel? Having that money in the bank, how is that going to make you feel? Okay. And getting really clear on that, knowing how it is that you really want to feel. That's where the power of knowing what you really want is, because it's not really the money. The money is just a tool. The money is just an energy that we use to obtain things in life, but it's not what we're really looking for. We're really looking for how having that money makes us feel. So what is it that you want to feel? Do you want to feel the freedom to be able to, do the things that you want and travel the way you want and be able to, bless people the way you want, help the, philanthropy, helping organizations that you want? Maybe that helps you, maybe that feeling, that freedom to be able to do that is what you're really looking for, instead of just the money. When you can identify it, that's when the power becomes, because that's when you focus on. Then you focus on creating that feeling now in your life. You have to become that feeling and start embracing that feeling and focusing on how it feels on now. When you can do that, that's when you begin to manifest the more money that provides you with that feeling that you're looking for, then being able to do the things that you want to do. It's never about the material things that we want. It's always much deeper than that. Yeah.
So the feeling. Okay. So once you have visualized or felt the feeling, what is that going to look like daily for people to feel? I don't know. Is that the right question? Like, is it feeling? Is it what sort of tools then can they do once they have that?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is something that I really work, deeply, which, with women, because I wish I could just give you like this simple little magic potion and poof, there it is. But it's a practice. You have to practice daily. Okay, let me give you an example. When I manifested my first beach house, for 3 years, because here we were in, Knoxville, Tennessee, my husband's job was there. My job was there. Our children were still in college at the time. We did travel a lot to the beach. We went there, at least 6 times a year. So I was able to experience a lot, but I really wanted to manifest living at the beach. So what I did was daily for 3 years was I focused on how wonderful it felt to be at the beach. I had a specific routine of visualization that I did every day. And I allowed myself to really feel the wind blowing through my hair and how awesome that felt in my body. And, my toes, stepping into the cool sand. Like even when I talk about it today, I can still feel it because it was just so real in my life. And walking with, the wind blowing and being able to smell the salty air. And then I see the dolphins and there they are. And I get so excited, and it's like feeling this experience of what it is to actually have this. And every day I practice it every single day until an actual miracle came in, and a company came into our world wanting my husband. They'd want him for a while and said, look, what's it going to take to get you? I think they were after him for about 2 years or maybe 3 years, for a long time. And he basically said, well, my wife wants to live, at the beach. And, kind of gave him what the number where we were looking at what we needed to really, live well. And they said, okay, pick anywhere on the Gulf. We'll pay for it. We'll give you a nice bonus. We'll sell your house for you. And I mean, it just was just like, it was an amazing, amazing experience. And so, it took being laser focused and allowing myself to actually experience it in the now as if it's already happened, and then detaching, also letting go. So after my visualization every day, you just got to let go and allow the universe to conspire the way it's supposed to happen. And that's what I did. I just knew, I had a knowing in my heart, and I practiced gratitude every day. That's another key component here, is practicing gratitude, really appreciating already having these things. And that's when you begin to really manifest miracles, and it becomes magical.
I love that. I love that story so much. I remember hearing it for the first time. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. It's just so like, yeah, like some people call it miracles, but like everything just lining up that way is just really, I don't even know the word. It's really
It's
awesome.
it is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any cap to what you can manifest?
Is there any what?
Like cap, like upper limit, like
Oh, no. No. No, no, no.
okay.
Yeah, I just did a launch of my I had my 3 it was a 3-month program that I just converted into 6 months
Mhm.
because the women are just there. Once you start on this path of manifesting, you like don't want to get off,
Mhm.
And so anyway, so I turned it into a 6-month program. And so I had a number in my head of how many women I wanted to manifest. I had a number of how many of what that financial number looked like. I had that, that knowing, and I practice it and I manifest every bit of it. Now I'm going for the next. Let's see where we can go from here. It's
God.
just it's a continual. It's fun. You gotta play with the universe,
Mhm.
and yeah, there's no cap. You can now. Here's the problem though. There is a cap, and there is a cap. And let me say this: we are full of unlimited possibilities. Like you can manifest anything you want. You can be whoever you want to be. You really can. You can be, do, and have anything you want. But what it boils down to is this: what do you believe you can
Mhm.
do? What do you
Yeah.
believe you can have? Because if you don't have that belief that backs that up, none of it matters. You won't be able to do it. So that's where the cap is.
Yeah.
That's where it the manifesting stops, and it stops with you and what your beliefs are, and that's where the work is.
Yeah.
That's where the work is, because you've got to go in and dig, and you've got to create new beliefs and that
So
back up whatever
many
it is you want.
so many of the women that I have had on, talking about a variety of things, but a lot of things come down or boil down to lack of belief or lack of confidence is a huge thing holding women back from building their business,
Yep.
building the life of their dreams. Yeah, and do you find that that's the hardest part in the manifesting journey or no, about getting started with women?
It's a couple things. It's doubt. Okay, it's self-doubt, beliefs about their beliefs for sure, and then self-image. It's your
Mhm.
identity. So however you actually see yourself, which all really boils down to beliefs. When it's all said and done, it
Yeah.
really all boils down to your beliefs and values, right? About how you believe yourself to be. So and the first hurdle though is getting over those doubt. A lot of women, are a lot of people who go into manifest are skeptical. Okay, so they've already set themselves up for failure,
Yeah.
you know. But identity is so important too. So say a person, and there's statistics on this, and it's massive, that a person who wins a lottery, there's a huge percentage. It's massive that within a year they lose it all, right? And so why is that? Well, they had the focus of buying that ticket every day. They were so laser focused on winning, and I'm going to win. I'm buying these tickets every day, and then boom, they win. But what happens is that their beliefs about themselves, how they identify themselves, they still identify themselves as a poor person, or as a person who is full of scarcity and lack, and a person who doesn't believe that they deserve money. And because of that, because they haven't done the work to match what they want to manifest, they're not in alignment with it. Got to be in alignment. They lose it all.
Mm. That's so interesting, and I totally believe that. I
Mhm.
feel like I've seen that in the business world happen when women grow, like, their teams too quick,
Oh
like, when
yeah.
you haven't gone through the steps of, becoming that leader and you're kinda thrown into that role, like,
Yeah.
that's the same sorta thing, is, like, you're not ready for it.
Yes. Yes.
And
This is true.
I've heard a lot of coaches too say, like, they're grateful for a gradual business growth because every step of the way is a new journey and a new process, whereas if you were handed all the dream clients that you that's your end goal, but you're handing that at the beginning, you're not ready for that.
This is so true. Exactly. I mean, you've got to have that belief to match it.
Yeah.
And speaking of entrepreneurs and women in business, it's a very, very, very small percentage that ever actually, like, it's easy to get to that $100,000 mark, but get moving past that.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very small. It's like 1%. It's so small amount of women that actually do it, that they're able to do it and achieve it. And it has everything. And I don't want to just say mindset, because mindset is like, yes, mindset is important, but you cannot have the right mindset, the millionaire mindset, the wealth mindset. You can't have that unless you believe within yourself that you really deserve it, that you can really embrace it as part of who you are. And most people have stories that are based in lack. They've been told all their life, they've been given a lot of no's, been told no so many times. Think about it when you're a child, and you've heard me even say this before. When you're a child, we are told no thousands of times.
Yeah.
Thousands of times. No wonder why we have a hard time believing in our self-worth and that
Yeah.
worth more,
Right.
or that we deserve more. We've been told no so many times. So we have to begin to cultivate a love for ourselves and that self-image where we say yes to ourselves and continue to say yes and continue to say yes. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do this. Yes, this is mine. Yes, I'm worthy.
I
Yes.
love that language shift.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I have tried to take the word, well, try, but I just used it. I like try and should, and
Yeah.
and being very intentional about my word choice. And I think it's helpful. It's really helpful when you do that. When you're speaking, when you're making posts, however you're coming off for people. And I don't, again, it's one of those things that you don't realize because there's so many people usually around you using that language until
Mhm.
you surround yourself with that right group of people who is using a more positive language. So tell us a little bit more about your small group. I feel like being, like I just mentioned, being surrounded by people
Yeah.
is a huge influence.
Huge. I
Mhm.
was actually, it was funny that you said that, because I was just, when you said that, I was like, oh, that's huge.
Mhm.
It matters so much, because your energy, the people that you were around, believe it or not, even if it's online, you are still, your energy is infectious.
Mhm.
And the people, they always say, what, the 5 people that you surround yourself most, most like the 5 people you surround yourself with. Well, on the internet and social media, I mean, we surround ourselves with, hundreds of people, thousands of people. And collectively there's a consciousness there, and there's an energy there. And when you are around a lot of people who are bringing you down, who are in they're in that half empty, the cup is half empty world, as opposed to the cup is half full world, you cannot help but absorb that energy yourself. So it's really important to surround yourself with that type of energy. Now, working with, like, the when the let me give you an example. The last group of women that we just went through the program with, they all of them, all 12 of them had success. All of them had transformations. And the power that was in that every time a woman would celebrate, and I instruct them to celebrate
Mhm.
every win, no
Yeah.
matter how, every single win. And I'll call them out on that if they don't, because it's so important. You've got to train your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
It was just so, the power, it fuels somebody else to want to go, like, they can do it, I can do it too,
Yeah.
you know? And so it's very important to surround yourself with the right type of people. I can't not stress that enough. if you are putting yourself into situations where you are paying attention and listening and hanging around people who are those Debbie Downers or whatever you want to say, it does impact you. It impacts your energy. It impacts your energy system. Okay. We have energy systems in our body, which is a really important piece of this as well. You've got to keep your energy systems flowing freely. You have to be, your energy in your body needs to be flowing freely. What happens a lot of time when we're around people who are negative, we get this uncomfortable feeling. You start to feel that uncomfortable. And what that is, what's happening there is you're starting to get your energy is starting to respond to what's happening here. And if you're around that a little bit too much, that can cause blocks in your energy system, which eventually can cause dis-ease within the body. So it's really, really important to pay attention to that. When you're around people who are making you feel uncomfortable, your body is talking to you, speaking to you. It's an indicator. This isn't where you should be. You're not in alignment with this.
I realized probably, I don't know if it was a summer or 2 summers ago, because I was with someone and she was going through a really tough time, but it was just kind of a lot of unloading. I think I shared this with you, actually. I think we were working together then. And when I left, I just felt so, like, drained, and I'm like, "Okay, I definitely am the kind of person who absorbs other people's energy." Good to know, 'cause I hadn't really realized it before, but I think it was because it was during, COVID, so we weren't around a lot of people, so I wasn't around a lot of other people's energy, so I was kind of removed from that, and then when I got into that, I was like, "Wow, okay." So I try to be really aware of that now where, if I'm in a situation and people talking poorly about people or just anything, and it's a situation I don't have to be in, I'm okay, I'm out.
Good. You've set boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
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 And, and a lot of women are empaths, right?
Mhm.
Right. And so, and when you're an empath, you do end up even absorbing more of that. So it's really important to set boundaries for yourself if you are an empath. And a lot of women are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's so important.
Speaking of your body with energy, is there anything physically that you really are like, "Yes, you should do"? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know
yeah.
you're a
Oh,
very self-conscious person anyway, but, I like to talk about, like, the whole person, so
yes. Okay. Well, one thing is now I'm an emotional freedom technique practitioner as well. So EFT tapping all the way. Now that is one of the things that I train my ladies, like, in their daily routine. Now this is something to do daily,
Okay.
tapping, because it helps. You're working with the meridian points in the body, and it helps you to actually acknowledge, something that may not be feeling right in your body
Mm.
and releasing it. So, we don't want to always be in denial of things that are happening within us. If we're in denial, that's not serving us at all. Focusing on it is not serving on it at all. So briefly taking a look at it, acknowledging what's going on, and then tapping that out, and then tapping in what you want to be feeling. I call it, it's part of the attunement process that I like to do daily.
Okay.
Tapping is very, very, very useful for keeping the energy systems in the body flowing. So
Okay.
definitely tapping.
Love that,
Yeah.
and I bet a lot of people listening have not even heard of that before, because 'cause I've mentioned it to some people, and they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, let me find a YouTube video and show you."
Yeah, yeah, daily. I mean, that is a powerful tool, and I highly recommend it. I mean, there's a lot of things. Of course, meditating. I mean, that's
Mhm.
like you can't. I mean, like that's a non-negotiable.
Okay. You do it at night or in the morning or both? Or whenever?
Well, I prefer in the morning and then right before you go to bed. Those are the best times because you are actually when you're when you're starting to wake up, you're coming out of a theta, you're kind of in that theta alpha state,
Mhm.
which brainwave state, which helps you to really connect to the subconscious mind, to your inner,
Mm.
your inner guide, your higher self, the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is your doer, the doer part of you. So when you can get into that state, the more often you can get into that state, the better. So right when you wake up and then right before you go to sleep are the best times to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Also, another thing that I highly recommend is quick heart coherence. And that is actually like a breathing and connecting between your heart and your mind. Okay.
Okay.
And it's a breathing technique that, well, your breath, you are aligning your breath with your heartbeat and your heart, everything. It's an alignment. That is something that you can do any time of day because it actually energizes you, but it helps to also release the blocks within the body and helps the energy system to just flow and thrive. So
Okay.
that's a really great one. You can look that up at Heart Math Institute. Yeah,
Okay.
great. Yeah. There's a lot of great techniques,
Yeah.
but these are my favorites. So
Okay. Before we hop off here, I would love to know, do you have a morning and a nightly routine? And if so, what does it look like?
yeah. Okay, morning, first thing when I wake up, of course I say thank you for another day. I'm extremely grateful for another day. And
Mhm.
then I go into my meditation. So that's my morning routine. I mean, my first thing that I do is I go into a meditation. And then after that, and then I'll do some visualization. So of course, I'm always manifesting. And then I will practice some gratitude. Now, when I say gratitude, it's one thing saying, oh gosh, I'm just so thankful for this day and I'm thankful for this and journaling that. No, it's when I'm coming out of my meditation, my visualization, and I practice gratitude. Like I allow myself to feel it in here, into my heart. I connect to my heart and into such a way that I feel such gratitude that I get emotional.
Okay.
And so, when you are practicing gratitude, you really should feel emotional. If you're not feeling emotional, you're not connecting to
Yeah.
pure love. So, you know what I
Sure.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I do because I want to get my body and my mind into attunement. After that, I will practice some pre-paving. And so basically pre-paving is I'll look at my day and what's going to happen and what's going to transpire. And I kind of like go through that in my head, how I want it to happen.
Mm.
Okay.
You like
Uh,
visualize your day.
yeah, kind of like how I want it to happen. Yeah. I
Okay.
know I'm going to interact with certain people. I want to just kind of, just a few minutes of doing that. And then I am, up and ready and I get going. So those are my have tos
Love
every
that.
morning. Yeah.
And then do you have a certain time, because I know you, ride your bike a lot or walk on the beach. Do you have a certain time of day that you prefer to do that, or is that just kind of wherever it's scheduled in for the day?
Unfortunately, because of the fact that my schedule is so all over the place, I have to find places to
Yeah.
schedule that in, each day. So it is kind of different each day,
Mhm.
but it's also a non-negotiable. So,
Yeah. I love that.
yeah.
Still schedule it in, getting it done.
Yeah. Even if I have to be on my spin, exercising and messaging at the same time,
Yep.
then that's what I do,
Yeah. Getting your
Yeah.
movement in.
Because your health is so important. It helps to raise your vibration.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I really want to say is really important when you want to manifest a beautiful life. If I can say one thing, leave anybody with this one thing is to do everything you can to reach for the best feeling thoughts you can throughout the day. You really want to practice vibing high. You want to be in that good stealing feeling state where
Feeling all the good vibes.
where
Yeah.
love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, all the really amazing feelings are at. That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
If you can, because that's where everything you are wanting to manifest is at,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's all
You gotta get
vibing
to
in that
that
high
level.
state.
Yeah, you gotta get to that level.
Yep.
And I remember that's what we worked on a couple years ago when I was working with you specifically on business coaching, was that visualization and really stepping into, okay, you're going to be this level leader. What does that mean to you? What does that look like? How does that feel? How do you get to show up? Um,
Yes.
and I know that I have in turn shared that with my women in my membership and women I've worked with and women in my team when I was building my network marketing team, is that really that visualization and that I call it up leveling, but I love how you say the vibe, your higher vibe. But yeah, the same thing is just
Yes.
every little tweak you can to get there. And I bet as women are really starting to get intentional about this, and I mean, how could you not just vibe higher if you're doing all those things that you mentioned, right? Like,
Right? How could you not?
yeah,
The sad thing is most people are not paying any attention to how their bodies feel, how their bodies work. They have no idea how their minds work. And they're just like living life day after day at the same thing over and over again, playing. They're living in the past, basically,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's the same program being played over and over. And they're missing out on living life fully. And it's just, it's sad. So I'm
Yeah.
on a mission to help change that.
I love it so much. Well, I was gonna ask you what's your one other tip for us, but you this was so helpful. And guys, seriously, this is not even like a 1% of what Tosh goes through, if even that. The transformation is truly like I listened to a bunch of the women share their transformational stories. And I know just when I was working with you, when it wasn't even 100% focused at that time on um the manifestation part of it, but I just know the transformation that is possible. And you guys definitely need to check Tosh out. So Tosh, where can everyone connect with you and find you? And then I will put this in the show notes as well, guys, so you can just click on it.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, just toshblum.com /connect. You can find me there. There's, you can, I have my free manifesting group. You can join from there. I've got some manifesting tools that are there for free and my website. So yeah, just toshblum.com /connect.
Well, thank you so much, Tosh. We appreciate your time. And everyone, when you are listening to this, if you're well, you'll still listen to it if you're watching it on YouTube, but take a screenshot when you listen to it and tag us on Instagram and Facebook. And we would love to chat with you that way. So thank you all so much. Have a
Thank
great
you
week.
for having me, Lindsay. This is awesome. I really appreciate
I'm so glad
it.
we got to do it.
Me too. Me too. Thanks.
All right. Bye bye.